All right, Merrick, kind of a medium-length meeting, I would say. Lots of things that were discussed tonight. One thing I wanted to ask you about was a lot of there was a lot of things on the agenda regarding the pay for the contractors doing the work out on the sewer project. Can you? There's kind of some language that I was a little confused about. It was pending payments. Can you kind of explain that a little bit?
Well, both those projects are being funded by a IEPA loan, what they call a revolving loan. And we get our money. It's a federal program that is then dispensed through the state, and the state gives us our money. So what we did tonight is the workers have done a great job. They're ahead of schedule. The weather has helped a little bit with that, but we want to pay them in a timely manner too. That's only fair. So we wanted to go ahead and approve payment of the portion that was due them, but we want to protect ourselves and say we're going to pay it pending receipt of the money from the state of Illinois. So we approved that, and so it was just, again, kind of protect ourselves. We can't pay them with money we don't have, and we don't want to put ourselves in that situation.
Basically, just insurance for the city. Then.
Exactly.
All right. So, but with that project, though, kind of on a really bright side, and you sort of touched on it, it's moving along very well. They've already got quite a bit done.
It is. Again, if anybody looks at the north part of the city there, across those fields there, they've really covered quite a lot already. They're getting ready to go across the what we call the Mount Auburn Road here. They'll be doing that probably here within the next 2 weeks. They actually have to kind of wait for Ameren to relocate a pole there. But it's moving ahead real well. And then the Phase 5 that's kind of on the Elm Street there, crossing Cheney, and Cheney Street was closed for about 3 weeks here. And we were happy to report that that opened up last Friday. And I know people were, they were ready for that to happen. They've worked with us very well. They've been very, very patient. But again, you have to undergo some of this pain to get things fixed, and we've done that now, and things should get better from this point forward. That was the last phase of the 5-phase project here that cost us over $10 million, but it has made a tremendous difference in how we handle our stormwater. The days when water used to stand on Bidwell Street and be 1.5 feet deep are gone. That stuff disappears very quickly now, and we have very few problems throughout the city. That doesn't mean they're all gone. I don't want to get calls tomorrow saying, hey, have you checked my basement out lately? We can't hit 100%, but we're much better than we were, say, 5 years ago.
There were some ordinances that were discussed regarding some of the problem properties around town. Some of them have already started to come down. It looks like the city's kind of moving on a couple of more. Can you kind of discuss that a little bit? Because there was some concern amongst the aldermen about what these new ones would do.
Sure. Well, we passed a new ordinance tonight. There's just one more tool that allows us to hit some of these properties that, for example, they may have started putting siding on a couple years ago, and for whatever reason, either they got hurt, ran out of money, or whatever else, it has set that way for years, and that brings down the property values of their neighbors. So we wanted to come up with some kind of tool that would allow us to kind of force them to get that project finished, and that's what we passed tonight. And some of the aldermen were concerned, says, well, how are we going to enforce that, or will we enforce that kind of thing? And we definitely will. We have to remember we still are a small town. We have one individual whose primary responsibility is trying to stay on top of that stuff. And he's only one man, and the city's pretty big for just one man to cover those type of things. Every elected official trying to look out for the interest of the people in his ward, wants him to put priority on that. And again, it's one of those things, it's a balancing act that he's going to have to work with, hit all 4 wards if he can, and the aldermen have to work with him and understand that he's got a schedule he has to meet, and it's just not that easy. There's laws to protect both sides. We've enacted some laws today that will help us get things cleaned up, but one of the reasons it's situated is there's laws that protect you from just going in and doing what you want to somebody else's property, and the city has to abide by those laws as well. So we're making improvement, but it's just kind of slow.
Well, you'd mentioned the aldermen are looking out for what's best for, not only the citizens of Taylorville, but in their wards specifically. We have an event coming up kind of geared towards that, to give the town a better idea of, the upcoming mayor election, to give a better idea of what all the candidates are about. And you had a nice comment, I thought, tonight discussing that. I was hoping you could echo that for our viewers.
Well, again, it's just, we've seen in the national elections and everything else, politics is known as a dirty business sometimes, and it doesn't have to be. Again, all these candidates should have the same basic goal in mind, to make this a better town for all us to live in there. They may have different ideas on how to accomplish that, have different priorities, and that's what I think that people need to be looking for when they have a chance to talk to these candidates or hear them talk. Where is their list of priorities? How are they going to do something? They may have some great ideas, and you may find out after discussing with some other people why that will not work in the real world. A lot of your elected people, especially the ones that go to the state and higher up in Washington, they have great ideas when they first start out, and then they find out that environment will not allow them to pursue those. It just doesn't work. And even here on a local level, I think people find that out. One of the things I quickly became aware of is, as mayor, you rarely get a chance to vote. I mean, you break ties, and so when you're running for mayor and you say, I'm going to change this, I'm going to change that, you have to be careful because you really don't have a lot of power to change a lot of things. It's kind of like pushing a wet noodle. It's not that easy, and so you have to find a way to work with the elected officials. And so that's what I would ask the people running, at least for my position there, is understand you're going to have to work with these people, and so talk with them, understand what motivates them, and work together as a team.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.